welcome back. We are going to now look at the next 5 questions, that is question number 6 to question number 10 in IGCSE paper 1H May 2018. Okay, so let's look at the first question where it says they've given you a circle where they said M and P are points on the circle, center O. MON is the diameter of the circle, so that is the diameter there, and MP is 3.5 centimeters, NP or PN is 9.7 centimeters. Angle MPN, this angle over here is 90 degrees. Work out the circumference of the circle, give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to find out the diameter of the circle, because you need to know the diameter in order to find out the circumference. Our formula for circumference is C is equal to pi times D. Now, you want to find out the diameter. For that, we're going to use the formula of Pythagoras theorem. We're going to use the concept of Pythagoras theorem because this is a right angle triangle where MN is the hypotenuse. So Pythagoras theorem tells me C squared is A squared plus B squared, where C is the hypotenuse and A and B are the two shorter sides. So we're going to do is equal to 3.5 squared plus 9.7 squared. Right? Let's see what we get there when we simplify that. So 3.5 squared equals 12.25 plus 9.7 squared is equal to 94.09. You add them together, you get 106.34. 106.34. So C is going to be square root of 106.34, which gives you square root answer 10.3 or 10.31. So that is the diameter of the circle. Now we're going to use this value to find out the circumference of the circle. So we do pi times the diameter is this one. Now note this is a small c for the Pythagoras theorem, and circumference I've used capital C, so they are not exact. This c and this c are not the same. So the c, small c, is the diameter, 10.31. So let's see, we do 10.31 times pi, which gives me 32.389, and correct to 3 significant figures, 1, 2, I'm going to keep up to here, right? So that's going to be 32.4 centimeters. Okay, right, next question. Chow bought a boat for 160,000 Hong Kong dollars. The value of the boat depreciates by 4% each year. Work out the value of the boat at the end of 3 years. Okay, so it's a depreciation question. That means the value is reducing, right? The value is depreciating every year by 4%. So let's work out the multiplier. So if the original value is 100%, we subtract 4% and I get 96%. Now you do 96% means 96 over 100, which is 0.96, and that's called the multiplier. I'm going to use that multiplier and to find out the value of the boat after 3 years. So the original value of the boat was 160,000 Hong Kong dollars, multiplied by the multiplier 0.96 to the power of 3, because it's 3 years. Okay, and let's see what we get. I will get 141,557.76 Hong Kong dollars. We have to give the answer correct to the nearest Hong Kong dollars, that means to the nearest whole number. So I will keep the value up to here, round it up to here. The next digit is 7, so this 7 will turn into an 8. 141,558 Hong Kong dollars will be your answer, and that's a 3-mark question for you. Now the next part of the question is a reverse percentage question. Jelena gets a salary increase of 5%. So obviously the multiplier is going to be 100% plus 5%, which is 105%. So 105%. Converted into a decimal is 1.05. The salary after the increase is 252,000. The salary which is after the increase. So the new salary is 252,000. We need to work out the salary before the increase. So in this case, what we do is we take the 252,000. We are looking for the previous salary. So instead of multiplying, I'll divide it by the multiplier. And my answer is going to be 240,000 Hong Kong dollars. So that's another 3 marks, a total of 6 marks for this question. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. LCM and HCF, right? So find the highest common factor of A and B. A and B are given to you, highest common factor. So we're looking for the common factor that divides into both A and B, and we're looking for the highest factor. So first let's list the common factors. We have got 3 and 7. These are the common factors in these two numbers. So first I'm going to write down 3 multiplied by 7. Now what is the maximum 3's that goes into both these numbers? Look, 3 to the power of 5, 3 to the power of 1. So obviously only 3 goes into both of them. And here you have got 7 to the power of 3 and 7 to the power of 4. So the maximum that goes into both of them or divides into both of them is 7 to the power of 3. So that will be your HCF. A shortcut trick for this one is when you have the common factors listed, or when you have the factors listed for both the numbers, for HCF or the highest common factor, pick the common factors with the lowest powers. For the lowest common multiple, pick first pick the common factors with the highest power and then multiply the remaining factors. I'll explain in the next part of the question what I just said. So I said that if you want to work out the lowest common multiple, first pick the common factors. The common factors are 3 and 7. Now see, note for HCF we pick the common factors with the lowest power, right? Here is LCM, so we'll pick the common factors with the highest power. So I'm going to take 3 to the power of 5 and 7 to the power of 4. And then I'm going to multiply the remaining factors, which is 2 to the power of 3 times 5. 2 to the power of 3 times 5. You may want to reorganize them and write them in order. So you can do 2 cubed times 3 to the power of 5 times 5 times 7 to the power of 4. And that will be your answer. Okay, now the next question, we have to use this concept to identify some missing values. So it says given that HCF of B and C is 2 cubed times 7. So we're looking at these two numbers. The highest common factor is 2 cubed times 7. So obviously from these two I am getting 2 times 7, and we have picked, obviously because this is HCF, I have picked the lowest power. So it says 2 cubed times 7. So 2 cubed, it says 2 cubed, that means 2 to the power of 3. 3 is the lowest power of 2. P must be greater than 3. Otherwise I wouldn't have picked that. And 7R times 7 to the power of 4 times 7 to the power of R. So which one is the lowest here? Right? They have used 7 to the power of 1, right? So 7 to the power of 1 is the lowest power of 7. Now this one is 7 to the power of 4 is given to you. So 7 to the power of r must be 7 to the power of 1. So the value of r is 1. Now when it comes to LCM, we pick the common factors with the highest powers and also multiply the uncommon factors. So let's write down what we have got. The LCM is 2 to the power of 4, 3 to the power of 5, 5 squared and 7 cubed, right? And that is the LCM of A and C. So let's look at this now. A and C. So A has got 3 to the power of 5 and C does not have a 3. So that's fine. That's the uncommon factor of both these numbers. Then we have got, let's see, A and C. A does not have a 2 but C has a 2. So obviously 2 to the power of P is equal to 2 to the power of 4. So P must be 4. Okay. R, we already know that R is 1. So now this is 5 to the power of 1 and this is 5 to the power of Q. We said that for LCM we pick the common factors with the highest power. So 5Q and 5 to the power of 1, and here we have got 5 squared. So 2 is obviously bigger than 1. So Q must be 2. Alright? Okay, let's now move on to the next question. Question number 9. The diagram shows a right angle triangle. 5 of these triangles are going to be put together to make a shape. Calculate the perimeter of the shape. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. Okay, so this is a right angle triangle. I know that's 72 degrees. So if we try to find out the remaining 2 sides, we have to use trigonometry because Pythagoras is not going to work here. We only know one side. So this is the 90 degrees. So that's my hypotenuse. That's the opposite side and that's the adjacent side. If I want to work out the hypotenuse, I need to use sine. So if I want to work out the hypotenuse, I do sine, of 72 degrees is equal to 12.8 over h, the hypotenuse. We need to find out h, so h must be 12.8 divided by sine of 72 degrees, which gives me 13.46 to the to 2 decimal places. I'll do 13.46. So h is 13.46. Now we need to find out a, right? So again I'm going to use O and A, which is tan. So I'm going to do tan 72 degrees is 12.8 over A, opposite over adjacent. So adjacent is going to be 12.8 divided by tan 72 degrees, and that is going to give me 4.16. So now I know the 3 sides of this triangle, right? I know the 3 sides of the triangle. I know that the opposite side, which is the 12.8 centimeter, I've got it here, 12.8. I know the whole length of this line is 13.46, but I don't need the whole length. I need only up to here. So the amount I'm subtracting from 13.46 is this bit, which is here. And the length of that part is 4.16. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 13.46 minus 4.16 to find this missing part. So 13.46 minus 4.16, 9.30. So that is 9.3. So now in this whole shape, how many 12.8s have I got? I've got 12.8 0.8 times by 5, because there are 5 of them altogether, and this portion is 9.3. I've also got 5 of them, so 9.3 times 5. So let's see how much I get. $64 and 46.5. Now if I add them together, I get 510.5. Correct to 3 significant figures, so I'm going to keep 1, 2, 3 digits. The fourth one is a 5, so it will round up to 111 centimeters, and that is going to be your answer. 5 marks. Okay, now let's move on to the 10th question. That's the last question of this segment. So it's saying this is a cumulative frequency graph, shows information about the length in minutes of each of the 80 films. There are 80 films altogether, and they're asking you to use the graph to find an estimate for the interquartile range. Now there are 80 films, so obviously interquartile range will be upper quartile minus lower quartile. Now the upper quartile is going to be 3/4 of 80, the value which is the 3/4 of 80, which is going to be, if I do is the 60th value, and the lower quartile is 1/4 of 80, which is the 20th value. Most of the time I've noticed students make a mistake. They do, okay, 3/4 of 80 is 60, a quarter of 80 is 20, and then they do 60 minus 20, and they write down 40 as the interquartile range. But that is wrong, because we are not looking for 60, we are rather looking for the 60th value. Now in this case, what you need to do is we use the graph. So we go from here. Okay, so if I check from this point down, and I strongly advise you to use a ruler for this task and to get the accurate figure. That's about 124, I would say. So the upper quartile is 124. Then we go to the lower quartile, which is the 20th value again. Which I'm getting 104th value. Okay, 104. So your low interquartile range is going to be 20 minutes. Okay. Okay. Now the next part of the question says, Claire says more than 35% of these films are over 120 minutes long. Is she correct? Okay. So 120 is here. 120 minutes. And if I start following this line, and I reach the graph, I reach here. I get a reading of 55. Okay, so between 55 to 80 there are 25 films. So let's see. So we're checking 25 over 80, and we convert it into percentage, see what we get. I get 31.25%. 31.25%. So Claire is saying more than 35% of these films are over 120 minutes long. But from my calculation, I get only 31.25% of the films are over 120 minutes long. So is Claire correct? No, she is not. Because 31.25% are over 120 minutes long. Okay, that brings us to the conclusion of the next 5 questions, which is question number 6 to question number 10 on May 2018, paper 1H. Thank you very much. We'll be doing in the next segment from question number 7 to question number 14.